Okay, so we're going to repair this crack in this Picanto rear bumper, and I'll polish out as much as I can, ready for touching in with new paint, which we'll do at a later date. But first of all, I'm going to clean the whole thing and dry it off. Okay, now the stuff is clean, I can take it over to the table and we'll have a really good look at it. Pieces, you can see this one is damaged. I need to rebuild that, so I'm going to do. Now there are two parts to this repair. You can see the obvious crack here, which I can fill behind. You can see a previous repair here where this was stuck on to reinforce it, where there was another crack further round. That one's actually held closed now, but this one's a new one. And then here we have this part that needs to be refitted, and originally that was held on using a bit of sealant as well. Maybe that's come adrift before, so I'm going to be refitting both of those things. See if I can get a small clamp and hold this all in place. It's not lying flush on the outside here. I need this to be flush so that it looks right when it's sealed. So I'm going to try and find something just to hold this together. It's a G-clamp. Some card to protect. Okay, so I think this is about as good as we're going to get for now. So I'm going to now just use some sandpaper to roughen the surface, and then I'll use some flexible sealant to build up the area with that, reinforcing it with steel as I had in there before. Okay, so we're using Tiger Seal. There's another video about this. I'm going to spread it in the area that, just using a screwdriver. Try not to get this stuff on your hands because it's impossible to. Once we've got a nice even layer there, you can then put in a piece of strengthening material. This is a piece of steel. And just squeeze it into the tiger seal. Like so. Let's see if I can cover the edges, keep that contained. So what we're doing is we're bridging the crack with something that's as strong or stronger. Which means the crack is no longer under strain, because any strain goes through the strengthening piece instead. Now the reason I put this blob here was because this is where the crack goes to at the bottom. So I want tiger seal on here as well. Ideally, I'll find something to strengthen this too. Piece of rigid plastic or metal will do. So, see what I can find. Right. A piece of semi-rigid plastic, which I'm going to put on here. This should flex a bit with this if it needs to. Again, just reinforcing the existing plastic with something to layer it across, bridge the gap. Just enclose this. There we go. So I think that's it on that part. Now I'm going to work on this bit. Okay, this one's a bit of a tricky pickle because it's only, I guess it must be heat connected when it's installed, but I'm going to have to grip this, hold it, and then fill it with tiger seal either side, underneath and on top, and really squeeze it into those little gaps there to try and get this to fit. There's only so much strength I can get into this, but I'll do the best I can. Try it with mold grips. See if we can get this to hold. Again, a bit of cardboard to protect it. Needs to be in the right place, which is tricky. I think we're doing pretty good there. Let's just squeeze that down. Okay, so I'm happy with that. Now I can work on getting that filler in there again. If I can get the nozzle to work, it would help. I'll put a new nozzle on this and just see if I can squeeze it in. Yeah, that's good. Stick with me, will you? Okay. Okay. So you can see into here. It's important this works, but I can't interfere with the way it connects either. So I have to be careful how it fits against the car, not to get the filler in the way. Put some around the back. I think that's probably about as good as I'm going to get with this. And we'll leave it like that. Oh, leave it to dry now. Considering this damage along here, I can see on this one, these are obviously mirrors of each other, but the one on the other side has a continuous run that goes along there, and when it gets to the end, you see the liquid turn in there. So I need something to go in here that I can then mould and cut. So it is it's a semi-rigid plastic. I actually have a bit of aluminium sheet here, so I think I might use that. That's pretty bendy. It should perform quite well. It's not going to rust. So I'm going to just form that to fit in this area. And again, I'll use the sandpaper to key the surface so that the filler sticks to it. I need to fix this crack as well, so it needs to go over that. It's going to be quite a big piece, and I'll just layer it onto here and trim it to the right size. I'll do that in a bit of a fade. So I've cut this piece of aluminium that now fits on here, and I'm just gonna glue it in. I think I'll spray this when I finish, so it blends it. Now this is all about stopping muck getting in behind it. It's not going to be spectacular. It's a 10-year-old car, it's cheap. It's just functional. So there we go. Let's do a different one. Okay, so all I've done is stuck the two together, sealed the gaps and shaped it a bit. And this will now need to go off. Now that these two have gone off, I'm confident to remove the clamp, which I've done. And I'll just do the last bit in there. Here's another piece of that aluminium. I've keyed the surface. I'm just going to pop it in there, just to help lend some strength to the joint. There we go. Okay, so this is now been completed. See the repair on there, and there. I sprayed it on the outside with that's the inside. I sprayed the outside with some just some sort of stone chip, just to darken it down. This is now got off, and that's been finished. This is all hard now, and it should be strong enough to remount. So I'm going to remount it, and then we're going to look at cleaning up and seeing where we are with trying to get it ready for paint. It's back on the car. There's another video for refitting the bumper if you'd like to see it for this car. But the final stage for me today is I'm not going to repaint this today, but I'm going to just buff it with some turtle wax. I've got some rubbing compound. I'm going to see if we can clean this up as best we can. So rubbing compound is kind of like it's a bit like Brasso in that it kind of polishes by wearing away to an extent, but it should take off anything that's okay. So that's about all I'm going to do with this. Obviously the crack is there, that would need to be carefully filled and touched in. You can see there's crazing on this bumper. That's where the stress has fractured the paintwork. It's not significant. There's some other things that we're older that we ought to touch in. But yeah, it's much better than it was. Pretty good job. Ready for final touching in. But I hope that was useful. Subscribe if it was. Put a like in on the like box, and give us some comments. Thanks for watching.